Too many people lose too much money in the stock and crypto environment, and I did a rant last week, and I also did an update talking about one of my friends who lost $4,500 on the AMC stock. Well, today I'm bringing back the rant because you guys asked for it. So we're going to rant a little bit about what actually happens in the stock market and the crypto market and where I see people going completely berserk. So are you ready to get started? Let's get going with the video. Today's video is brought to you by Skillshare, but more on that a little bit later. Now, on this channel, we've talked a lot about stock investments, dividends, we talk about cryptocurrency, we talk about Shiba Inu, we talk about Ethereum, we talk about all kinds of different things, but where I see people go a little bit weird is when they do a little bit too much. They go on tilt, and they put money into a stock or any type of investment that money they need for next month's rent or next month's electric bill or something like that. And then they freak out because all of a sudden, the stock starts going down. They start losing money, and then they do the famous quote, "I should just cut my losses and get out." And that is my worry. People are investing money that they can't afford to lose. Maybe they're in debt. And I would say, wow, what are you doing? Because remember, when the market turns bearish, which means it's going down, if you can't hang out with those bears, you'll never be able to ride with those bulls. Think about it. So I'm gonna go on my little rant here of where I see people getting really trapped up. And we're gonna talk a little bit about what you can do to safeguard yourself. Why? Because you're smart and you have that long-term millionaire mindset. And that's the game plan. Now remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm just some guy on YouTube who sometimes looks like Woody from Toy Story. Do your own research. This is only for edutainment purposes only. Let me start first with my little graph that I like to draw, and then I want to talk about how you can end up spending $20,000 for $15,000. If that made no sense, don't worry, I'm going to explain it in just a moment. But here we got to talk about this right here. Here's my iPad screen, and let's say it's whatever crypto or stock you want. Picture your own. Drop a comment down below with whatever crypto or stock you're thinking about. But we're gonna pretend this is that whatever you chose, right? So it's gonna go up. It had a little bit of a crash. It comes up again. Oh wow, all-time high. Comes down, comes up, goes down, comes up. Oh, there it is. That is your stock or crypto chart. And that will say is in the last, I don't know, a couple months, right? So this is a month chart that we're looking at right here. And what the dumb people do, which are not you or not me, is they do things like this. They say, wow, I'm hearing about this brand new crypto or this brand new stock and it's going to the moon. And they hear about it right about here, okay? And so what they do is they execute buys. And I'm gonna make these red. So, and they're red for a very good reason. They're gonna buy right here, they're gonna buy right here, they're gonna buy right here, and they're gonna go in with as much money as they can right here at the top. And they're putting in their life savings, right? They drain their savings account, they drain their emergency fund, they put money on a credit card, and they just start buying. Then look what's about to happen. It goes down, 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 down. And guess what our buddies do? They say, oh no, the sky is falling. Oh, heck is breaking loose, right? And so what they do is right about here, they sell. Now, remember, if they sell right here, they purchased up here in this zone. So that means they are losing money because there is obviously an up and a down trend there, right? So they're losing money because they say, oh my gosh, it's over, it's dead, it's a scam. Have you ever heard these words before from people like this? And they get out. They get scared and they run away. And they basically have a loss. Now, a couple things could happen. They could say, investing's a scam, crypto's a scam, I'm never getting back into it. Or they say, forget about it. But then the next hype comes. It's right about here, right? So in fact, let me make that blue because I want to be realistic here with my little drawing. So right here's the next news outlet, right? Oh, your favorite stock is back on a run. Everything's looking good. And then they say, oh man, I'm going to get back in it. And they start buying here and here and here and here. And guess what? The definition of insanity starts happening. They just completely redo the same old dumb thing that they did prior. It starts falling way down here and they decide to sell. Maybe they'll sell here, and then they'll sell down here because they're like, okay, I need to completely cut my losses and get out of the bloody thing. Why are you doing that, people? Why? Because what's happening is you're in this hamster wheel of just losing money. You buy in, and let's say you put in like $1,000 up here, and now you're selling it and you're losing $1,000, and then you put another $2,000 and you're losing $2,000. You basically literally just lost $3,000. That's absolutely absurd because you're just not playing the game the right way. Those people that are smart like you and I, here's what we look at. We look at the long term. We're looking at the news. We're doing some fundamental analysis. We're seeing if there's utility in the crypto or the stock that we're interested in. And here's what we then do. We say, okay, we're going to use this purple color for us because I'm running out of colors here. But anyway, so you're going to buy here, 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 you're going to buy here. You're just going to keep buying the thing because you trust and believe in whatever your favorite stock or crypto is. Again, comment down below with whatever that is. But you know, you just ride it up. And oh yeah, of course you're buying up here when your buddy the fool is also buying, right? But you're also buying as it goes down because you're like, oh man, discount, and then you're up here buying again, and then you're like, oh, super discount, and you go ham on that. And it's money that you're willing to lose. You don't care about this money. You're never going to use this money. And guess what? By the time that you're done buying this, or by the time that we're at present day, look at what you're at. So if your average cost lies somewhere in this trend line, I'm going to make it really fat so we can see what we're looking at. Let's say the trend line is this yellow right here. Okay, here's the trend line, right? Give or take my drawing, right? But look, if you bought in, your average price is probably going to fall somewhere in this yellow trend line, which means, guess what? From this point to this point, you are up on your money. Your buddy that sold here and here, they're down $3,000, but because you just rode the wave and bought the highs, bought the lows, and everything in between, you're still up on your money. On my conservative investments within my IRAs, it's really interesting to look at. I have some very old investments that I was doing probably like 5 to 8 years ago. And I was doing those because I didn't really, I was still learning the mutual fund and the index funds and things like that. And those are up right now, even with this bearish market we're currently in, 58%. So I'm still up 58% on my money. The most recent investments, I'm only up 2.35%. Now that's a big difference, right? From 58 to 2.35%. But remember, what's the big difference? Well, the big difference between those two is I have time in the market with that 58% improvement. That one has been beat up. That one has been negative. That one has been high. That has been all over the place. But now it's up so much more than my most recent investment because it has more time in the market. So this is really an interesting thing, but stay tuned because we got more. Let's talk really quick about the main entree, and that is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where you can let your creativity fly. What I have done recently, as you may be aware, is I wanted to up my ante as far as my YouTube production quality. So on Skillshare, there is this guy right here. His name's Jordy Vanderput, and he is amazing. He walks you through how to edit your videos with Adobe Premiere Pro. And so I've been following along and increasing the value of my videos thanks to that Skillshare class. Now, as always, we don't do things for nothing, right? My first 1,000 subscribers that use the link in the description below will get a 1-month free trial to Skillshare, so you can explore your creativity today. Go check it out, learn a little bit about stock investing, learn about how to build up a side hustle, build up some income, and start your creativity journey today with Skillshare. But now I have an even more important thing, and it's not just this chart that we were looking at. Oh no, this is like even worse. You have people that are skeptical of stocks, you have people that are skeptical of crypto, and what they do is they sit back and they, these are different from these dummies over here in the stock world where they're buying on the highs and selling on the lows. These people are just overall skeptical. They're not even going to get in on anything. If you gave them $5 and you say, and no, even better yet, you say, hey, I have $100 right here, and I'm going to give you $100 and I want you to invest it in cryptocurrency, or I want you to invest it in this crazy stock that I know about. They're going to say, no, that is completely a scam. I'm not doing it. And instead what they're going to do is they're going to take this money and probably buy cigarettes with it, right? But they're just so skeptical they're not even going to put that money in. Instead, what they do is they buy things on a credit card. Now, the average credit card interest rate right now is 14%. So think about that. If you rack up so much credit card debt that you're not able to handle the monthly payments and all of a sudden you have to carry a balance, you're going to be charged an interest fee of 14%. So what these people are doing, instead of investing in a long-term investment to grow their portfolio to the millionaire mindset, they're instead getting some credit card debt. Check out this right here from Bankrate. I plugged in a few numbers, and on these numbers, we have a $15,000 credit card balance. Let's just say that you racked up a lot of money, and the average rate of a 14% credit card interest rate. Now, I'm gonna only put in $200 a month toward the credit card, because that's all I can afford. Now, I went out and bought a steak at Outback Steakhouse and financed it on my credit card. I went out and bought brand new clothing, financed it on my credit card. I'm in over my head. I have $15,000 in credit card debt, but I can only pay $200 a month. Well, guess what happens? It's gonna take you 180 months to pay this stupid bloody thing off. But even worse yet, that $15,000 that you borrowed with interest over that period of time will cost you $20,855. So that's more than your $15,000 that you initially borrowed. You're paying $15,000 back plus an additional $20,855. That equals $35,000 over the term of 180 months. Now that's absolutely ridiculous, but yet you won't invest $100 into a stable conservative fund or even a high-risk altcoin. Do you see what I'm saying? I would actually challenge people to say credit cards are worse than the most craziest altcoin that's in the top 100 cryptocurrencies. As smart investors, we need to do a little bit more. So what do you start with? Well, the first thing I recommend, get yourself out of debt. Pay off all the credit cards, pay off as much as you can of any other loan that you have. Because when you do that, you immediately get a percentage return. So think about it this way. Let's say you have, an auto loan. And on that auto loan, you pay 3% interest. Anytime you pay an extra $100, $500, $1,000 toward that auto loan, you're getting that immediate 3% back. That's interest you won't have to pay in the long term. So it's almost like a guaranteed return. That way, if the stock market is bearish and it's going down, you don't have to worry because every time you pay a little bit more to your debt, you're getting a guaranteed return on that extra interest charge you would have paid in the long run. You pay all that down, now you have extra cash because once that's all paid off, you still make the same amount of income or you do some side hustles, you learn some things on Skillshare, you skill up, and all of a sudden now you have more money to play with. Well, guess what you can do now? Whatever you want. You can invest. You can invest in conservative funds. You can invest in volatile funds if you're willing to let go of that money forever. That's kind of cool, right? I want you to be a smarter investor. I want you to live your ultimate sweet life. If you enjoyed this video, share it with other people. Check out this video next, and we'll see you on the next video.